31 years ago, I lived in Amesbury, just over there, and I never came here, which is Old Sarum, which is basically 5,000-year old, and it's the original Salisbury. So I'm just going to do a little video walk around to show you what I've missed 32 years or 31 years ago. And now I'm finally here with my good lady wife. So here is the basis of, and the remnants of, the castle. This is 11th century. Henry I would have been here. Very rough hewn, but all the covering stones have taken away. They're only left with the sort of the core that strengthened the walls. It would have been much, much taller than this, of course. And that's the remains of a hearth. Oh look. Presumably the prisoner was here at some point. This is the chapel. Where are the people? That was the altar. So this building is 1,000 years old. What's left of it. This would have been the main square. There would have been market, it would have been bustling. Obviously 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning in early September, not so much. This is the remains of the King's Great Tower, and you can see why they built a tower here. Look out, and you can see all that surrounds you. Of course, down here is the defensive ring that stops any armies crossing. And you've had encampments out there. That'd be the small town, roads, buildings, maybe a pub or two, people living outside the wall, huddling support, huddling around like ducklings around their mother duck. And the Great Tower, which is no longer here, but would have been very defensive. Would look something like this. You can almost sense the ancient nature of peoples living here 5,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and then abandoned because there's nothing. Until you go that way, where New Salisbury is now, but down, lower. But the kingdom would still have been up here in the tower until the tower was demolished in the 1300s. There's a sense of power when you're in the tower. The power in the tower, and it still is. That's why we build monuments so big, why government buildings become big, that's why churches are big. But we're going to go up the top here to have a look down into the valley, into the New Salisbury, and to see what they would have seen 1,000 years ago. Appears to be very popular with dog owners.
You can see why.
So imagine it's the 1200s and some young castle guard patrolling last thing at night, sun setting in the west. And as he's looking down, he's seeing the construction of there in the distance, the new cathedral. What would be when it was completed, and for the next 600 years, the tallest building in Europe, Salisbury Cathedral and the spire, which incidentally I've never been up. Something else to do. But there's modern Salisbury in the distance. And what's keeping those lowland scum out of the castle when you're the king? It's huge embattlement. That ditch, they can't cross it. They ain't gonna cross it. And that's why this castle lasted so long. It's why 5,000 years of people's living here stayed for so long. You're on the only hill. No one's getting in. Dominance. The economic life of the county ran through these very fields, this plateau of wealth, and it stayed rich for thousands of years. And now, of course, it's full of middle-aged men making videos. Anyway, I hope this little glimpse has shown you what a marvellous history and heritage this part of the country has. We're off to past Stonehenge shortly. See you soon.